Welcome back to Menopause Mastery. So today I am joined by Cathy Christen. She's a serial entrepreneur, a vibrant speaker, executive business coach with over 2 decades of experience. And she specializes in helping especially women craft a life by design. She's also the co-founders of Go Abundance Women. Cathy channels her energy and expertise to inspire, female executives, investors, entrepreneurs, and wannabe entrepreneurs into fostering a network dedicated to achieving a full and abundant life. You're a little bit younger than I am. I'll say that I'm slightly more seasoned. And for me, coming out of the 80s, it was an era of the movie of Working Girl. Like, it was extraordinary for us to go, okay, I'm moving into corporate America and I'm going to make my mark. The glass ceiling was pretty low, right? I remember taking typing class, Cathy, so I could ensure that I would have a job as a typist for a man. So you want to know how well I did in that class? Really shitty.
Oh, yes. I'm like the golden handcuffs that can happen, right? Like I being young, I was like, I will never, I couldn't work in corporate America because I needed the time and money freedom. And so it's funny because I have friends who are like, I just needed something stable. And I'm like, corporate America to me wasn't stable because I couldn't control if they fired me or something happened or they needed to downsize or they got bought out. And so for me, control meant like I was controlling my schedule, what I was creating, what I was doing. And that was, super important to me. But I think that there comes a time in many of our lives where we look and go, oh my gosh, like I've been going in autopilot. I've been chasing after something that I thought was the success, the pinnacle, the this, the that. And I didn't take time to really look inward and really look at what was important. For me, it was really looking at, okay, what do I want my life to look like? Because I think that we were fed all of these lies younger and, being women. I mean, as like women couldn't get bank accounts until the 70s, and then they were just chasing after like whatever success looked like, which is what the guys were doing.
I think there's so many things that you said there that are really important. And I think that journaling exercise is so very, very important, because a lot of times we still have a filter. We still have a filter in which we're filtering our dreams, goals, and desires. Because we're always thinking back, like, what's this going to do to my this or that, or how's this one going to think about it? It's like, it's good to just do that as if you can be completely indulgent in your own desires, right? Like, don't filter based on your current status and circumstance, because that cuts off that freedom to think more clearly. And I think it's also really important. I call it rent a stranger, because we don't recognize our own filters and our own biases, that even after you do this journaling thing, it is really important to have somebody else that is helping you walk through these things and asking you questions, right? Because questions allow the brain, if you ask it a question, it will always look for an answer, even if it's an absurd question. And you can't always do that for yourself because, again, you don't know what you don't know about your own self, what hidden stories you got running your show. And I think that, I know for me, I have no problem career changing, right? I've had 3 distinctly different careers, all requiring schooling, all requiring like a radical shift in notion. And just to like, okay, I burned that bridge, I'm done. I think that's so important. And I like the child analogy, because you would never leave a child alone, but you damn well don't want to be a helicopter parent when that thing is, when that kid is 22, 23 years old, you're like, damn, you should be able to make decisions by now. But we see it, and I would say it's my generation because we wanted our kids to have things that we didn't have, to have the opportunities. And our parents were definitely latchkey. It was kind of like, if you make it home by dinner and dark, cool. If not, dad whistles on the porch and then we wait for a while. We don't even think about sending out cops until the next day. You know what I mean? Like, so as parents, we walked into this and we were like, we want our kids afforded all these things that we don't do. But I think a lot of us became helicopter parents. I did not, because I did not have children, but I think I could see myself wanting to be, to play a little bit of that role. But same thing, you don't want to be the helicopter parent to your business because it can never operate without you, which also means you can't exit it at some point, which means
you never have the freedom.
Yeah, you never have the freedom, and you can't earn back what you put into it. Because I guarantee you, anybody that has a business will tell you they will never earn back the time, sweat, tears, money until they can actually exit it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people that don't know that.
Every time you scale.
Yeah. So I think it's also recognizing you got to think about the exit along the way and how is that going to be exited, which is a whole nother conversation.
And so I think about some of the strategies to create passive income, real estate investments for sure, right? Having rental properties. And let me say this, I always thought, not understanding that world, like, well, you're only making 100 or 200 bucks a month off that. Like, why does that even matter? I'm going to put my money somewhere else. And I always put into the software or business and I didn't realize, I'm like, well, no, what matters is that you're acquiring more assets and they're paying it. And yeah, I'm getting an extra 100 or 200 bucks on top of them buying me an asset, but they're paying the mortgage and I get to own this when it's said and done, and it's mine. And whatever it's worth, like now I have an extra 500,000, 700, $1 million, in my portfolio that was paid for by someone else. So like, that's awesome. Um, and so I always thought it had to be much bigger. And then, yes, if you want to make bigger moves, there are ways to make a lot more, in real estate. Some people like to flip to get bigger capital or big apartment complexes or development or things like that. You have digital products, like ebooks, online courses. These are ways where you can create passive income just through your knowledge, right? And you can post something up that people can buy online and you're not having to trade time for money. And so you're creating a passive income. And maybe it's just a couple $100 a month. And that could be a game changer for a lot of people.
Do you have any parting wisdom? You were like, ladies, just do these two things. If you have one last little message, if you could give it to them, what would it be?
I would say take the time, as simple as it can be, to have a little dream session. Like pick a date, put it on the calendar. If you have a partner or friends, like ask for support to just give you space to be alone, and do that, because I promise you, it's absolutely transformational. And then to put it into action, find a mentor or a group or community, like have accountability and guidance on how to get it done. And that can be accomplished through paid mentors, through free mentors, coaches, and/or community like ours. And not all communities are the same, but just find one that is really going to help you get to that next level. So get clear on goals and then find the people who are going to help you get there faster.